In this example, we are going to cover creating an invoice within QuickBooks, receiving a payment against an invoice, and recording the deposit. For this example, I'm using the QuickBooks Premier Accountant Edition 2010. If you're using a different version of QuickBooks, your screen may look slightly different. We're going to start by viewing the open window list. This will ease us in navigating between screens. So in order to create our invoice, we're going to select Create Invoice from the QuickBooks home screen. And we're going to enter our customer's name. And if you're using class tracking, we're going to enter the store name that our customer is associated with. We're going to change the date on the invoice to the date of the sale. And we're going to enter the items that were sold from our items list, and those were an indoor photo session, and a standard photo package. Which you'll see that the description and the rate for those items pre-populate across our row, and those are based on the setup of those items within our item list. You'll also see that the tax rate pops up automatically based on the customer that we entered at the top, and the sales tax rate is set up within our original customer setup. So we're also going to enter a memo field line, and that's 2-hour indoor session and 1 standard package. We're also going to use "Thank you for your business" as our customer message. And now that we have our invoice all entered, before we save and close it, if you click on the journal icon at the top of the screen, this will show you all of the accounting behind the scenes for the invoice that we've just entered. And actually, we need to save it first and then go back to it. So here's the invoice that we just created. If we click on Journal, it's going to show us what would be entered if we were actually entering this into a general ledger. You'll see that our accounts receivable account is debited. We have a credit for our indoor photo session and the standard photo package, and also a credit to sales tax payable. So now we can save and close this invoice. And now we're going to receive a payment against an invoice. So in order to do that, we can click on the Receive Payments icon on the QuickBooks home screen. And we're going to receive a payment from Bob Mason. And the amount of the payment is $401.39. We'll select the date that we received the payment, and the payment method was by check. We'll record the check number, and the memo field, we're going to enter payment received for invoice 3947. And you'll see below that QuickBooks will automatically apply your payment to the oldest invoice first, and that is a setting that can be changed in your company preferences. So now that we have the payment recorded, we can save and close that. Actually, if we do save and new, we're going to go back to the customer payment that we just entered. And again, on this screen, you can click the journal icon, and it will show you the behind the scenes accounting for the entry. So if you just want to verify and make sure that everything's posting correctly with your items, this would be a good place to do that. So you'll see here that our payment was debited to undeposited funds, and we have a credit to accounts receivable. So you go ahead and close that screen. And we're going to go back to our QuickBooks home screen, and now we're going to make the deposit for that payment that we've just received. So if we click on Record Deposits, you'll see that the check that we just received will pop up. We're going to select that payment to deposit. And here you'll want to select the account that you're depositing the check to. If you're using multiple accounts to deposit checks to, then you'll want to be doubly sure that you're selecting the right checking account. And the last checking account that you've used will always show up first there. So you're going to want to select the date that you actually take the funds to the bank. That way, when you reconcile your account, the dates along with the amounts will all match up. So we have everything entered here. We're going to select Save and Close. And that concludes our example for creating an invoice, receiving a payment, and making a deposit within QuickBooks.